Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So as you could tell, my voice is starting to come back, which is good. Been spitting out a bunch of phlegm, not to get too much information wise, but I should be almost back to full health by the time the next video drops, which is good. So there will be still, obviously, my voice will probably end up trying to go on me in this episode as it normally does. But if you didn't catch the last episode, we basically had free agency. We started up the season simulation. And so far, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag. We are 13-10 in our first 23 games, which is not terrible. But there has been some things that have been definitely not great so far with this team, which has been mainly like the defensive play and the goaltending. The offense has been solid. Like the addition of Chinnikov has been great for our offense. But then you look at like the goaltending numbers. Connor Hellebuyck has an 885 currently, and Brossoit has an 895. So I'm hoping that those improve if we are to improve our defensive core a little bit, because maybe our defensive core isn't super strong enough. Like maybe we want to use more Sandberg as a depth defenseman and find another defenseman to put into this sixth rotation. So yeah, we'll probably end up doing that, and then sending Capobianco back down to the AHL. We also haven't been getting necessarily the best depth scoring, because you look at Velarde, 7 goals, 5 assists in 23 games isn't necessarily ideal. So we definitely need to find a way to get this offense doing a little bit better throughout our entire lineup, and not just being our top guys like Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. So hopefully we could find some depth scoring, and hopefully that could help us in terms of the season sim. But anyways, before we get into simulating the rest of the season, let's get into some comments. So the first couple are from Rob JK 8876, who says, "When I need a bottom pair defenseman, I wait till the start of the season. You can get a young medium 6 D-man and a young 9 forward for minimum contracts, usually 70 to 79, but grow when you play." So he's saying that to wait at the start of the season, you could usually find good top 6 defenders and top 9 forwards that are low overall, like 78, 79. So I'm able to start doing that next season. And then he also says, "I respect you want to do the face cam, but block some numbers and contracts, but it's still very good video." And yeah, with the face cam, it's more, I do want to obviously keep on using it. But what I plan on doing, obviously, is trying to be a little bit better with it, because I'm still getting used to it in a sense. So hopefully it's not like blocking off too much important things. Like hopefully I can move it around when I'm in the middle of recording, because sometimes I completely forget that it's on a certain scene and I have to change it over. So hopefully I get a little bit more accustomed to that with the future videos. Next comment is from Dylan Burrows, who says, "Velarde is doing terrible. Either trade him or move him up in the lineup. A solid third line two-way forward might be worth it, especially if you could get a pick thrown in too." And yeah, Gabe Velarde's been definitely a little bit of a disappointment. The thing I have problems with him is I don't know if I want to put him up on the second line. Barabanov's only got the 1 goal, so he hasn't been necessarily the best either. So maybe we do want to put him down to the third line and then put Velarde on the second line. Chinnikov has definitely been a really good player for us, so I want to keep him as like a top liner right now. And then we have a very long comment from the Freedom Prime. I don't know why he decided to space it out the way he did, but he says, "I would give Chinnikov a 6 to 8 year contract extension. He's a steal. Flip Velarde and Barabanov in the lineup. Velarde's size will open space for Perfetti and Ehlers, and all the will get more points." So we already just went ahead and did that. He also says, "Your middle 6 defenders need a better puck mover. Tanev is more of a 5-6 defenseman than a top 4. I love physical players, but he's a liability in the top 4. I kind of disagree that he's a liability on the top 4, because look at that numbers, +9 through 23 games. But I do kind of understand what he means. He's more of a defensive defenseman, so he's more of that shutdown type of guy for your top 6. But right now he's in our top 4. He also says, "I think you should start looking for deadline rentals to see who's available, and you can get some options for the team. I wonder what it would cost, what Chris Letang would cost with the Pens eating half of his cap hit. Maybe Jeff Carter could also be a 4th line option for rental. He would be real cheap and could be a great fit. He's killer on the faceoffs, could help the penalty kill, and might be a decent second unit power play guy. He could still score some, and I think he's got some good hockey left in him. If you want a left wing that generally sims well, JVR for some reason scores decently, so does Max Pacioretty. If you're deciding to make that you're going all in this season to win the cup, then this roster could use an infusion of rentals with winning pedigrees, hence why Letang and Carter could make sense. If you want to start rebuild now, then Ehlers and Connor could net you very good returns, which should include first round picks. Mason Appleton would probably get you some mid-round picks. Tanev and Heinola could get you some nice mid-rounders. And despite his horrible record per SWAT, could get you a decent return. One question that you need to ask yourself is how you're going to decide to go through a rebuild. Is a 31-year-old goalie really the future? If I tend to say no, even with his new deal, I would start to solicit offers for Hellebuyck now and evaluate the market. I bet a team like the Devils would love to have him and give up quite a nice return. You may even be able to get Holtz or Mercer in a package. You might also consider using some of the assets from a rebuild to get Swayman from the Bruins. He's young and has a stellar potential. He could help speed up a rebuild and Jets goaltender of the future, as well as be a part of the new younger core of players that include Perfetti, and I would give Chinnikov. You then would have a lot of room to add quality free agents and support a new core. Great series overall. I'm enjoying it. So a lot to take in there. So he's basically saying if we want to go to a contending route, we should maybe look at Chris Letang, Jeff Carter. If we want to go rebuilding route, there's a lot of guys like Swayman out there, which I honestly don't think we're going to go to rebuilding route yet, because I think this team still looks pretty solid on paper. So I don't think we're going to go to rebuilding route for sure. But he's saying, I wonder what it would cost to get Chris Letang and Jeff Carter. So we know that Chris Letang's making a big contract. I think didn't he get an extension recently? I feel like he did, so I don't know if it would be worth it to bring in somebody like Letang. Let me take a look at Chris Letang's cap hit. The Pens are 13-8-1, so they're actually a little bit better than us. So it might not make sense from their standpoint. But yeah, Letang's an 89. He's got 4 years. I don't really like the term on that, to be honest. Even if we did get them to retain salary cap, I don't really like that, to be honest. Yeah, I don't. But from a Jeff Carter standpoint, I believe he's an 83 of 39. He's only got 1 year left. He's not really that bad, so I don't mind maybe bringing in somebody like Jeff Carter. He only fits maybe our penalty kill, though, so he's not really a good guy for our coach. So I don't know about Jeff Carter for sure, but if we wanted to bring in an offensive player, Jeff Carter might be that type of guy. He was also saying JVR and Max Pacioretty, which I don't know if those guys have retired yet or not. I don't think they have, considering this is only year 2. If I go to player search, let's see if we could find them and see where they're sitting overall wise. So let's see where Van Riemsdyk is, and then we'll see where Pacioretty is. I don't remember if they were on the block in last episode. They might have been. Oh man, I almost misspelt that. So Van Riemsdyk, let's see, where is he now? He's still in Boston. Oh yeah, he's got a 1 year deal as well. How's he been simulating? Pretty good, actually. Yeah, he does simulate well. 22 points, 23 games, I think. Or actually, that's 23 points in 23 games. More of a penalty killing kind of guy as well. And then he was also mentioning Pacioretty, which Pacioretty probably would cost a lot more. Also, if this was an IRL, I wouldn't do that because of the fact that he's pretty injury prone. So, but let me see Pacioretty. He's in Arizona now on a 2 year deal. I don't like that it's multiple years, especially at that price point. He's only got 10 points as well this year, so he's not been lighting up the world. Yeah, I don't know really necessarily what we're going to do in terms of, like, if we're going to actually bring in any of those guys you mentioned. We might wait till next episode to do that, just to see how this team does a little bit further first before kind of, like, throwing all the eggs in one basket, so to speak. And anyways, those were the comments I want to go over. There was some more, but I don't really have the time to go through all these comments, and I don't want my voice to all of a sudden just completely go flat on you guys like it was in the last video I recorded. So, yeah, let's maybe address our top 6 pairing if we could find something right now. Other than that, though, I don't think there's going to be much that I'm going to do in terms of, like, changes to this lineup, at least at this point of the season. We'll probably wait closer to the deadline to actually start, like, flipping pieces or bringing in new pieces. So, yeah, so let's try and see if we can find ourselves a good top 6 defenseman. Then we'll use Sandberg as depth and probably send Capobianco back down. So, let's go to proposed trade and see if there's any top 6 defenders out there. And that would actually help us out. Let's see. We're looking for somebody that would probably fit our top 6 pairings. It's got like 1 year left. Maybe I should just go to the search player search thing instead. That actually might be a little bit easier. That way we could actually narrow it down on what we want to find. Okay, so we want a defenseman, a role of a top 6. Doesn't really matter on the handedness, but I would prefer our right defenseman. And minimum age, obviously, we're going to go with like 20 to, I guess, 36. And we're going to bump this up to 3 stars. Let's see what we got here. Anybody intriguing that would work? Anybody on like 1-year deals? CC, I'm surprised CC is actually listed as a top 6 as an 82. Doesn't really fit our system that well. Anybody else? Lassie Thompson, not really. Tyler Myers, Tyler Myers has actually been pretty good in Toronto right now. He's a +7 through 21 games. Jan Ruda. Jan Ruda's not bad either. Does fit a lot of our system. You know what? Jan Ruda actually might be a good option for this team. He's also on a bad Sharks team, so the Sharks should want to get rid of him. Let's see. Yeah, I think I actually don't mind Jan Ruda. That wouldn't be actually a bad option considering he's a right-handed demon as well. It's really nice. He might be like our top 6 edition. So what is San Jose wanting from us is the question. Let's see. Draft picks. They do want draft picks. We're not giving up our first or second. I wouldn't be opposed to giving up a 3rd round pick because we do have 3 3rd rounders, especially Boston's right now because Boston's probably a good team. So this might be able to get it done right up as a 3rd for Jan Ruda. And then we would basically have ourselves a new top 6 defenseman to hopefully give us a little bit better defensive play in front of Hellebuck and Brossoit. So let's see if this works. So a 3rd rounder for Jan Ruda. And that's rejected apparently. So we will have to add in. We have 2 6th rounders as well. So I would be okay with giving up a 6th rounder as well in this deal. We don't need these extra picks kind of. So let's just give them a 6th rounder and that should get it done. Yep. So there we go. Jan Ruda has joined the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, he's a bit of an older defenseman, but that helps out our defensive core a little bit. And we will likely send down, what's his name? Cabo Bianco. But I think this solidifies our top 6 a little bit better. Gives us also a little bit more of a defensively minded guy. He already got sent down. Perfect. Let's go to edit lines here quickly. And let's get that set up. And make sure we have our lineup ready to go. So Sandberg can come out. And in can come Jan Ruda. Not bad. He is a more defensive defenseman again. So we don't have a lot of offense from our back end. But still, I'll take it for now. There might be some other trades we do in next episode, but for this episode, I think that's the only deal I'm willing to make. Other than giving a contract extension to Chinnikov, though. Because like you guys were saying, Chinnikov has been great for us. Might as well lock him up. I don't really know how much term we could give him, but let's see what he's wanting for... I can't even give him an extension yet. I have to actually wait till the start of 2024. So we have to wait a month, and then we could give him an extension. Considering we signed him just as a free agent in the offseason, we have to actually wait till the calendar year changes. So we got to wait a month, but let's see how we do in December. See if we could turn the season around a little bit. Yeah, we are still in a good spot right now. Like we're still in the playoffs position, but we definitely need to have more wins than losses by a mile. We're not gonna make the playoffs with only 3 more wins than losses. So let's go to January the 1st. See if we could have a much better month here as we win over Montreal in a shootout. And then we beat them there as well. We lose to Florida, win there, lose there. So a little bit back and forth. And that's kind of a weird offer. Barlow and Kyrou and 2 second rounders to Minnesota for Spurgeon and Zaitsev. Ew. I think Minnesota's just trying to free up some cap space or something. Okay, now we're on a little bit of a losing streak again. This is not ideal. There's a win over Arizona. Appleton has been injured. Let's go replace player. Yeah, a little bit still kind of streaky, but it's okay. Let's just go replace player on Stankoven. Appleton is back. That's good news. But yeah, we might have to still make some changes for sure in next episode in terms of how we want this team to be set up. Because we want to make the playoffs technically. I don't really want to go the rebuilding route just yet, but I might have to. I've been drinking some tea, and my tea is just literally going cold as shit, so it doesn't taste that good. Okay. So there is that. Let's stop the sim so I could actually see what's happening. Yeah, it's still very inconsistent. So we are 19-16-1 on January the 1st. Might have had to make a cut on that part because my voice is just kind of dying on me again. But yeah, we're still in a wild card spot at the moment, but not by much, which isn't ideal. The good thing for us, though, the Blues, who are behind us in our division, have 3 more games played, so we won't have to worry about them too much at the moment, but there is definitely a lot of concern still with our record at the moment. And Yedlers is still over point per game, which is nice. Okay. Let's go and give that contract extension out to Chinnikov, because I think we should be able to give it to him. Let's see. Yes, we can. Okay, perfect. So, let's try the 85% trick on him, because you guys were saying 6 to 8 years, and I agree. I think having him long-term would be not a bad option. He's proven that he could simulate well. So, we are going to open up my calculator on my computer, and we're going to see what we could offer him at the minimum. So times 0.85. Looks like I could get him for a little bit under 3. So something like that. And we'll see if he accepts that as an 8-year deal. Yes, it's a little bit weird to give him an 8-year deal like that, but I think he's one of our future pieces to build around. And it's still a movable contract in a few years, so that's not too bad. Perfect. Okay, let me take an updated look at how our team is doing here in terms of the goaltending numbers, because those I think are the big concern right now is the goaltending numbers. So, is the goaltending numbers improving? Not really. Not really. Both of them have identical save percentages, and Brossoit has a little bit worse goals against. How is Ruda fitting into this team so far? Has he been good? -3 through 13 games. Not terrible, but still, he was doing better in San Jose, who was worse than us at that point. I'm trying to think of what we could do to get this to improve. Is there any really badly minus players on our team, like in the bottom 6? -5 for Gustafson. Wow, okay, that third line has been really good plus-minus wise. Ooh, that first line has been terrible plus-minus wise as well. So maybe I actually do have to split up Chinnikov from that top line, as much as I don't want to, because he's badly minus. So Velarde's going to get a big opportunity here to play on the top line. He still hasn't been good. There's still a lot of concern, I think, with this team for sure, but at the same time, I don't really know what I could do to improve it. I just got to hope that we make the playoffs almost at this rate, I think. Let's go another month and see if we could have a good month to maybe get those goaltending numbers back up there. Like I said, we'll probably wait until the deadline to actually make more trades. So I'll probably show you guys like the block and stuff like that at the end of this episode. And we could think about which direction we want to go. Because right now we're in a playoff spot. But by the end of this month, we might not be in the playoffs. And that won't be ideal. So hopefully we can start winning some games here. Let's go to February the 1st and see if we do so. And also see if Chinnikov accepts that extension. Stankoven is back. That's good news because he might be in the NHL as early as next season. Capobianco is playing top-line center. That's a little bit weird, but I will take it. Yeah, Stankoven is very close to being NHL ready. Same with Lucius. So we do have some guys that will actually be able to crack our lineup next year, which is really nice. And maybe that's the type of thing we need, is some youth injection. And Chinnikov has accepted his 8-year extension, so that's pretty nice. 2 losses in a row. Then we win against Minnesota, win against Vancouver, win against Boston, and St. Louis. Okay. So it was a slow start to the month, but we won 4 games in a row after that point. And then there's 2 of our last 3. As Velarde has been injured, that's not ideal. Let's just go replace player on that. Lucius in a third for Nick Hague. That's not a bad deal. If I do want to hold on to Chaz Lucius, because you guys say that sometimes he develops really well. But Nick Hague is a really solid defenseman, at least in real life. I don't know how good he is in this game. He's only signed for 1 more year. I don't know if he still has RFA status. I don't think he does. But, yeah, Nick Hague is a great defender. He's a -16 right now in the sim, though, so I can kind of see why they want to move him. But in real life, I feel like he's a really underrated defenseman. But, that's interesting. That might be something we revisit in the next episode if he's still on the block. Chinnikov's been injured now. My God, we're getting slapped with injuries at the worst time. That's not ideal. And game against Ottawa was a win. So 27, 21, and 1. Not still the best record. We are still in a wild card spot with 55 points in 49 games. Ehlers is still point per game, but it looks like our offense has definitely dipped off a little bit. We're 5 points up on the Blackhawks, who are also in the wild card spot. We're 9 points up on the Blues. So in our division, I don't see any team kind of catching us at this rate, but they might be able to. But we might be in a good spot right now. We're like 9 points up on all teams that are outside of the playoffs. So from that standpoint, we're in a good spot. But at the same time, I don't really feel super safe. We are 7-3 in our last 10 games, though, so we are trending in the right direction. Let's take a look at those goalie numbers again. See if they've improved since we looked, because it was an 893 before. Are these guys above 900 now? Hellebuck's up to an 896, so he is improving a little bit. And Brossoit has drastically improved over to a 906. So goaltending numbers are improving, but are they improving a lot? I don't really know if I'd say a lot, maybe a little tiny bit. And Jan Ruda is all of a sudden turning it around defensively. He's got 3 points now for us in 26 games, so he's helping out a little bit offensively, but he's a +3. So I think he's definitely been a better addition to that top 6 pairing than Sandberg was. What about our defensemen on the top 4? Hey, they've been pretty good. Tanev's a +16. So much for him being a liability. I think he's been a really good shutdown defenseman for us. And then from an offensive standpoint, is anybody really badly minus? Not really. That's good. That is good. We are battling some injuries right now. Let's see, Velarde, how's he been? Plus minus wise, +4. Chinagov's a -6, but that's still not terrible. Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, seems to be pretty good. From a defensive standpoint, seems to be improving. Let's continue to simulate a little tiny bit more. I don't know if I'll go up to a day rate before the deadline. Let's go to like halfway through this month. And then that's probably where we'll stop the simulation. We'll take a look at some player stats. And then we'll also see if there's any trades that are worth exploring in next episode. So let's go to the 15th here and see how we do in this week where we have 4 games as Velarde has returned, which is kind of nice. So we'll get Kupari taken out. And no, actually Chinakov's back, it looks like, as well, maybe. I want to double check to make sure that he's actually back to full health, though, before putting him in. Yeah, there he is, okay. Because I don't want anybody getting re-injured. It's not good when you put guys back in the lineup and they just get injured right away again. So Chinakov's also back in. Hopefully that could help out with the offense a little bit. Let me stop the sim because I cannot see anything. 3 NHL players in a 3rd round pick for a second. Lucius in a second. Jeez. Yeah, Minnesota's trying to offload a lot, it looks like, right now. So let's go to the 15th. See how we do in this week. Win there, win there, win there. And game against the Flyers is a win there. That's a big week there. So we're trending in the right direction. We're all of a sudden 31, 21, and 1. And from a playoff perspective, we're 13 points up on the Blues. And we are 13 points up on the Kraken. We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot to definitely still contend for a playoff spot, which is huge. So let's take a look at our team stats and player stats so far. And then we'll take a look at what is on the block and see if there's anything worth exploring for our teams. So in terms of, let's actually just do entire league. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Where are we in the standings? We are currently 13th best in the NHL in the wildcard spot. Yeah, goals for per game. We are the 3rd best offensive team in the league right now, so no problems with the offensive core. From a defensive standpoint, we are still not super great defensively, but I think we have improved a lot since last episode, so hopefully that continues to improve in the second half of the season. Power play percentage-wise, we are one of the better teams on the power play, around mid-table. And penalty kill-wise, our penalty kill is still not good, so maybe we want to still upgrade our defense and our penalty kill. We're really good on home ice, not as good on the road. In 8-2 in our last 10 games, so we're definitely trending in the right direction. Let's take a look at those player stats so far. So, from an offensive standpoint, Scheifele's been great, almost point per game. Only a +1, though. Perfetti, 47 points. He's definitely turning out to be that great player. 87 overall now. Really glad we locked him up when we did. Gabe Velarde's got 30 points. He's actually kind of turning it around a little bit. Same with Adam Lowry. He's been really good in terms of the plus-minus department. Gustafson's got 21 points as a 4th liner. That's actually not bad. Appleton, 19 points. I could definitely see why the offense has been good. Really good depth scoring. Connor, Ehlers have been really good. Iafallo's actually been pretty solid too. He's a pending free agent. Morgan Barron on 18 points. Janssen Fialbi played one game and had 2 assists. Was +3 too. So, yeah, really happy with the offense here on this team. Chinnikov, 32 points. Bear-Bainoff, 31 points. Yeah, pretty good offense. And then defensively, Morrissey's always been a beast. Heinola has been good defensively, provided some offense. Tanev's been great shutdown-wise, +17. Matt Roy's been good. Logan Stanley's been solid. Ruda has been, let's see. Ruda's been solid. And Sandberg hasn't played since. I don't mind that. And then from a goalie's perspective, Hellebuck is almost back up to a 900, so it is improving quite a bit. And Brossois has drastically improved to a 910 from his 893 or whatever he had earlier. So everything seems to be trending in the right direction with this team right now. And the depth scoring, I definitely think, is the best part about this team right now. Definitely the goaltending numbers could improve, but hopefully they do that once we get to the playoffs. Because I think we should be a playoff team at this rate, but who really knows? Let's take a quick look at the trading block and see if there's anything intriguing out there that we could use to upgrade our team a little bit. And then that'll be probably it for this episode. So, is there anything that could help us out from a defensive standpoint? On offense, there's Silverberg, Marchment, Kerfoot, Eller, and LeBlanc. Swayman is still on the block, but we don't need a new goalie. That's not really what we're in the market for. Alex Tuck is still there. Connor Clifton, but 2 years left. Gustafson's more of a liability. Edmondson, don't really like that contract, and Victor Olson's there. Mackenzie Weegar still, but on 7 years is kind of nuts. If he wasn't signed so long term, he'd be an intriguing defender for sure. Rasmus Anderson on 2 years isn't like really that bad, considering he's only making 4.4. But I don't really know what we'd give up and where we would slot him in. Like, we'd have to give up a top prospect to get somebody like him in, likely. Dustin Wolf's on the block as well. TJ Brody. Anything else intriguing? Corey Perry, Athanasiou, Donato, Bailey, Soderblom. Anthony Stolar. So a lot of like backup kind of goalies and fourth line kind of guys. I mean, we can rework our bottom six, but I think right now from an offensive standpoint, I don't really want to change much. It's more on the defensive side of things. There is Jeff Petrie. Goss's Bears back on the block. We could have signed him in the offseason, I think it was, or traded from last year, but we didn't. But now he signed for multiple years. Justin Holt's there. Jake Wallman's there. That's not bad. That's not bad. I know Jake Wallman's actually pretty good IRL. Jake Wallman's kind of intriguing. A little bit. Alexander Edler, but he's 38, but he's still really serviceable. From an Edmonton standpoint, there's nothing. Florida's got Bob on the block, but we don't need Bob. Doughty's on the block, but still making a lot of money. Gavrikov on 1 year left isn't bad either. There is definitely some defenders out there that are intriguing. Parayko on 6 years left, I don't like really. Kopitar on 2 years left, we don't really need. Kempe on 2 years left would be intriguing, but don't really know where to slot him in. Zuccarello, Hartman, Eriksson Ek, Eric Johnson on 1 year. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Spurgeon on 3 years. If that was a 1 year deal, maybe I'd look at Spurgeon. Josh Anderson, Tyler Johnson, Christian Dvorak, Montembeau, and Hermia. Arvidsson back in Nashville. Oshie, Tatar, Nyquist, and Carrier. Carrier is not a bad bottom six option, but I'm looking more for a defenseman. Yaro Halak. Anything else? Let's see. Just some prospects. Travis Hamonic. Travis Hamonic still would be an okay depth option for defense. In a way. He's a -17. He's playing like he actually does in real life a little bit. But he is a Winnipeg native or a Manitoban native. So Travis Hamonic as a depth defenseman for the playoff run might be okay. But there's also like Zub, who's on 3 years left still. Nathan Walker, Brendan Lemieux, screw you. And Nick Delory. A lot of grinders on the block there in Philly. Goddamn. Anything else? Alexiak, no thank you. That's a little bit expensive. We were getting offered a trade for Adam Larson. Adam Larson would be not a bad option from a defensive standpoint. He is injured currently, though. So that's not great. Don't know how long-term he's injured for, but he is a good shutdown defenseman. Jordan Eberle on 1 year left. Yanni Gord on 1 year left. So there is some intriguing Seattle players. Some intriguing St. Louis Blues players as well. Alec Martinez on 1 year left is not bad. We know he can come out clutch in the playoffs in real life. Does fit our top 6 pairing. I don't mind Alec Martinez at all, but he is 37, so he likely retires at the end of the year. Anything else? John Tavares, Kyle Yarncroke, Domi, Camp. Still a lot of decent, good players on the block, so we should be able to find something to help out our team. There is still Nick Hague as well. I do like Nick Hague. I think he might be one of the best options out there, probably for us. So there is the trading block. One last thing that I wanted to take a look at. I'll show you guys actually our contract situation again, just in case you forgot, so you can kind of see who we might want to potentially move out in a trade to upgrade a position just because they're pending free agent. Let me just go no face game for a sec. So we got like Ehlers, Barabanov for pending UFAs, Velarde's a pending RFA. In general, we have a lot of guys that are up for renewal this offseason, so there is guys that we could use to upgrade, like Logan Stanley, for example. We could flip him in a pick to upgrade our top 6 defensive pairings if we really want to. But yeah, it's basically that. So, final thing, let me take a look at the draft class again, just because might as well. Even though we're only halfway through the season, I just still want to kind of know what's out there a little bit more. Still Palin's first overall, Verrata. A lot of generated guys and some real players, obviously. We're not going to be drafting that high up, but looks like our scouts aren't doing the best job, which kind of sucks. I mean, it's still early in the season, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but there might be a lowly defensive defenseman here. Interesting. Okay. So there is that, and that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we will simulate the rest of the season. We'll maybe make some trades to upgrade our team a little bit more from a defensive standpoint. And yeah, we should be a playoff team at this rate unless we completely fall off in the second half of the season. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.